welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm David.
I'm Gary.
And Gary didn't realize I hit the record button. He was too busy looking
I
at
was
his
busy
cards.
looking at my cards and shuffling.
He's currently stacking the deck to give a most positive reading. Now Nico's chasing Elle down the hallway.
If only we'd agreed on what we're going to read on.
So now we look at Gary's clock. It is now 12:15, 12:20.
Yes.
And this is the Tuesday reading.
Yes.
We were going to look at the Pennsylvania recount.
Yeah.
And see the energy around that one. Now, I've thrown on that one, and that video went up on Sunday morning. And my signifier card was the devil card. If I have to say anything more about that, to me, if there's something to find, they're gonna find it.
Yeah.
And then the question is, what do you do with it once you find it? But let's look. There goes Nico. And there goes, and she's waiting for him. I'm going to let Gary do. We're just mixing it up. Gary going to read on the energy of the Pennsylvania recount. So the Pennsylvania recount, the votes were within 0.5%, 0.5% of each other, which triggers an automatic recount in Pennsylvania, which basically involves scanning the paper ballots through the system to confirm that the numbers are right. They only expect maybe a few hundred votes may change because of this. And this is just for the Senate race. This is not the presidency. It's just the Senate race. That being said, if there's more than that, that could be a huge screaming red flag of that in Pennsylvania. So let's look at the energy around, here's secret card. Let's look at the energy around this and see what's going on with the Pennsylvania recount and what might happen with that. And we're going to let Gary lead off here.
And this is for entertainment purposes only.
Clearly.
Yes, it's all me. Okay, so what is the current energy around the Pennsylvania recount? So the recount has to start by Wednesday, the 20th of November. Okay, so foundation of the reading is a Chariot. Seems to be appropriate. Okay.
I love the shadow card, by the way. I think everybody got to see it too.
Yeah, I saw it too. It's like, oh, everyone's favorite shadow card here.
Yeah. Here we go.
We could probably just make a whole series on the shadow card, couldn't we?
Yeah, no kidding.
The whole reading will be on this card today.
I just say the recount literally is to look, is it legitimate? Are those votes stolen? Are they correct, or are there shenanigans? That is the point of the recount. Make sure there's no shenanigans.
Exactly. We're gonna go forward with this. We're gonna make slow, steady progress and make sure everything's on the up and up. We've got the yin and the yang, and we're gonna make sure that everything looks okay.
Yep.
The cross is the Knight of Swords, and if everything is not okay, we are gonna go screaming forward, swords drawn, about an election being stolen when we weren't looking.
Yeah. It also prevents any reckless accusations. So literally, I think if they don't find anything wrong with this, Democrats just might not do much. Although I'd still like to see a presidential recount, but hey, not my choice.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Kamala's raising funds. So, and we can read it both ways. If all the votes, tick and tie really well, then there was no theft of the election. So, I mean, this really could go both ways.
Right. Maybe Mark Elias and Michael Cohen are right, and we're just a bunch of whiny little...
Although, in the past, there were some agreements that were made.
Big contracts.
It's funny. It's, the typical reaction of the victor is, oh, we don't need to have a recount. I mean,
exactly.
And so you can't really hold that against the Republican unless there was agreements.
Right.
Well,
and also this is it's Lover's card. This is something that folks in Pennsylvania voted for or supported. This is nothing. There's no secret thing going on here. This is this is just mandated.
Yep. Current situation is the Eight of Swords. Not feeling like you're bound to something, that you can't find a path out of this. That would be a very interesting card if everything was on the up, I guess you could play it both ways. And once again, if there were shenanigans going on, and the messaging comes out, it's like, how do we move this thing forward? I mean, we've been messaging like crazy that everything's fair and on the up and up, and now we're in a situation where we're seeing a situation where this is something we told them couldn't happen. It wasn't happening, and now it's happened.
And now you're stuck with your words. What is it? What's your message?
Yes,
Elections are secure, aren't they?
Yeah, but if it was secure, then Kamala's got really no path forward at this point. Right. Unless we raise up enough money to do a presidential recount, the result of this, someone's not going to have a path forward. Overarching energy is the Three of Swords. These are strong cards. Something is going to come from this one way or the other. Yeah. Someone is going to be upset. We could be upset. The Republicans could be upset, but someone's not going to be happy with how this works out. The lesson to be learned is the Five of Pentacles. Once I keep when I look at this, to me, this is the oligarchs or the big money trying to suppress the votes, the voice of the people. We've got all the money, we've got all the resources. We're going to be fine. You guys, you're out in the cold. We don't care what you want. It's what we want. This could be, your free and fair elections going forward. Outcome, Page of Wands. Okay, that's a very interesting card.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Because every single time I do a reading on was this election stolen, I always get a wand. It's either the Page of Wands or the Queen of Wands, where it's like, how do you message this going forwards? We find that there's something going on, and now we have to come up with new messaging on this.
Yeah.
This can go either way, but these are strong cards. So what happens in Pennsylvania is really, it's like we were mentioning in Cash Peters' video. Cash Peters saying it could be the first domino to fall.
Right.
If there were shenanigans, it is truly the first domino to fall. If there weren't, they probably won't look at any more dominoes.
Right. And again, Pennsylvania is a really interesting one because that was a really key state. So if there were shenanigans going on there, if shenanigans were going to happen, that would be one state where you would expect shenanigans to happen.
Yep.
To me, again, North Carolina is actually more the smoking gun, because they had a governor, the lieutenant governor, the attorney general, were all voted blue, yet somehow Donald Trump wins the presidential election. You act like what? And he won with 2.8 million votes to Kamala Harris's 2.4. Yet the governor won with 3 million votes. So how did 600,000 people in North Carolina not vote for Kamala Harris? Forget to check that box or purposely not check that box. That's rather unbelievable that 1 in 5 didn't want Kamala Harris to be there. Is it possible? Sure. Seems really unlikely. Because again, the people that don't want a black woman to be the president of the United States would not gravitate towards the Democratic Party. They would gravitate towards the other political parties, the conservative parties, where women know their place in the kitchen, being barefoot and pregnant, not out there running the country like a white Christian male should be doing, or something.
Oh,
so I just logically, I have a hard time believing that, because again, misogyny and racism, it exists on all political parties. I would say there's a whole lot less probability it happens with your average Democrat than it would with your average conservative.
Okay. I would agree.
Because the whole point of conservative is we don't want things to change. And right now, white males who are Catholic or Christian or something like that rule the roost, and they want to keep it that way. So, yeah, I could see a lot of conservatives going out voting against Kamala Harris because they don't want this woman in there. But I don't think the Democrats care. Matter of fact, the Democrats looked rather enthusiastic.
Yeah.
All right. We're reading on a recall. It's just the recount, right?
Yeah, the Pennsylvania recount. So I've got the page of wands. We can ask what that means, or you can say, will there be a presidential recount, I suppose?
Yeah, let's look at I'm going to look at a little four-carder. What's the page of wands in Gary's reading representing? Does that represent a domino?
Do you want to make your screen big? Huh,
No.
Funny how that card came up again.
Yeah, no, I refuse to make my screen big. Okay, so foundation of the read is the Eight of Swords. It's kind of the damned if you do, damned if you don't. Are you going to be a victim, or are you going to set yourself free? Hermit card. We're going to find out. There's things to be found out here. Oh, wow. Eight of coins. Raising funds, but this to me is like, doing the work. Four of Cups. The Fool card. I just think she's torn what she's going to do. She doesn't know what she wants to do at this point. Kamala Harris is the type that kind of waits. You're kind of stuck with the results. There's fundraising going on to find out the answer. You may not get the answer that you like. Or, you know what it is? I think Kamala Harris has got a intellectual dilemma she's dealing with. Swords are about intellect. It's that, am I doing this because I don't like the results? Basically, if I want a presidential recount, am I wasting money because I didn't like the results the first time? Or am I doing it because we're finding out the truth? I think she's got an intellectual struggle that she's going with here. Underneath is the Fool card. It's starting a new journey, a new life path, whether it's post election Kamala, or let's challenge this election Kamala. So the Page of Wands in regards to that is, it really depends on what she decides to do. She can drive this. She can absolutely drive this. That Page of Wands is almost looking like, here's your opportunity. What are you going to do with it?
Okay, I'm going to look at the current energy. Will there be a recount for the presidential results in Pennsylvania? Okay. For entertainment purposes only.
Well, let's be entertained then.
Well, there's your Fool card, Dave.
Man, this, swear to God, this is like a relay race. Here you go.
Yeah, exactly. Pass the baton. Okay, I think I know what your Fool card meant.
Yep.
Yeah, we're on a new journey here. This is not something we normally do, but...
Well, let's see what the rest of the cards show up here. Because you have to see if there's going to be one that could be no. It could be yes.
Okay, the challenge is the Four of Swords. We need to sit back and contemplate about this.
Yep.
This is not something, you want to be...
She does not take things lightly. She does not take things lightly.
No. You want to be all Knight of Swords, but you really have to think. It kind of ties in with the wands, that Page of Wands. How do you message this? You've got to be very deliberate, and it's kind of like it's like if you're playing poker and now you've got the winning hand, and how do you draw your opponents in and get them to cough up the chips? Because you've got them dead to rights. Now you've got to play this smart. Underneath it, the Ten of Swords. Something's coming to an end.
Yeah.
I guess if you're one of the trolls who has a Jack Frost title, you would say that, well, clearly her new journey is her post-political career, and she has to think about what she's going to do because her political career is dead. I don't know. My gut is telling me right now we're on a new journey. That Page of Wands is about messaging. We're on a new journey. We got to think about how we're going to move this thing forward, and we're going to think about how we're bringing things to an end here. In the past, Three of Pentacles, we've had... clearly, there's been some consulting going on. People have been talking, coming up with plans, coming up with different strategies for results. Now, this could be rigging an election. This could be how do you message this thing going forward? How do we bring this message forward? current situation, Six of Swords. I think you had that one too, didn't you? So current situation is, how do we get out of these turbulent waters and get to calmer shores? What's about messaging? Okay, eight of Wands. That is definitely about messaging. Okay, the overarching energy is the Eight of Wands. We have got to get this message out, and we have to get it out quickly.
Yes.
We can't be sitting on this. This is not a slow boat to calmer shores. We need to get the messaging out. We have to think about it. We have to consult. We have to have a path, but we've got to communicate it. We got to do it quickly. The lesson learned, that Two of Pentacles again. It's that balancing act. The red hats think they've won this thing. The blue wave is thinking, "Uh-oh, there might have been a blue wave here." And
this really ties into your reading from yesterday, or we recorded it and finished at noon, but yes, which is going up on Monday. But the whole, you had the Two of Coins as Kamala Harris's foundation card, and I had the Six of Swords. Literally, am I staying or am I going?
Yep. I think in this case, it's just that she's balancing the things of value here. We got to get this message out. We've got to do it in such a way that we're not triggering people, that we're showing that something's not right, and that we need to look at this election again. And the outcome, Seven of Pentacles, not a bad one. It's kind of looking at, to me, it's looking at the nation and looking at what we value as a nation. And is it truth, justice, and the American way, or is it all about money? So I could read this either way. My gut is telling me that this card's troubling me just a little bit. I don't know yet. I don't know. What you got a thought on that? Because I could read it either way. That nothing to see here. Move along. Don't worry about it. Give the red hats.
It's just not decided yet. It's not decided yet.
Yeah.
Got to evaluating the evidence.
Mm-hmm. I think this is the critical card right here. That Four of Swords.
The other thing is, if now I'm forgetting what the question was. What was the question you're reading on?
I believe the question was, so we did the Page of Wands. What did the message mean? And then were they going to find that the election was fiddled around with?
That Six of Coins, then, or Seven of Coins, reaping what you sow card. How many swing states are there?
Oh.
If it happened here,
yeah,
maybe exactly. We need to start looking at all of them.
Yep, I like it.
I'm going to go a slightly different route here.
Oh.
Will MAGA have an absolute temper tantrum with her decisions based on the Pennsylvania recount? Are they going to be all up in their big feels? Like, it's not fair. Stamp your feet. Will MAGA have a temper tantrum? 10 of Swords.
God, once again.
Yeah, there we go. King of Swords. 7 of Wands. There's another 7. 8 of Wands. Queen of Wands. They won't be if she quits. They absolutely won't be. It's really up to Kamala Harris here. But if she fights on all 7 of those swing states, because she's got the evidence like a prosecutor would have, and there's the messaging that we're going to do this, yeah, they're going to lose their. She's challenging it. I'm going to go on record. She's going to challenge it. They're going to be like, this is not fair. This election's over. Here we go. Not fair. This election's over. We won. You lost. Get over it. There's no doing that. You're just being a woman that just can't handle losing to a manly man like Donald Trump. It's going to be some bull crap like that. They're going to lose their minds.
I think some of them will. but I think some of them won't. The whole point of this, if there was election fraud going on, and the whole idea that Spirit said we need to get really close to this in order for MAGA to start learning their lesson about what they actually were voting for. And Cash Peters had mentioned it too. He had one MAGA friend that's like, I'm having a tough time believing these results.
Well, I think here's the thing. Maybe Cash has a different definition of MAGA. To me, MAGA equals the cult members. MAGA equals the folks with Trump derangement syndrome.
Well,
which is often misdefined as people who hate Trump at all costs. When Trump derangement syndrome is really people who will make every excuse under the sun to excuse his behaviors. They're cult members. The cult members will never leave Trump. It's people who voted for Trump because they think he's this strong, tough guy, and he's not. And when shown how he's going to use and abuse them and then throw them under the bus, they're going to be like, oh, F you.
Yeah. Well, he was saying that this is a person who has all the MAGA paraphernalia and goes to the rallies. So maybe they're not a full-on cult member, but they sure like hanging out with them.
Sure.
So I think there's going to be a lot of people that will look at this and say, yeah, you know what? Something didn't seem right. You don't think so?
No.
We'll find out.
They are going to have a freaking temper tantrum. And you know what? Tough. Literally tough. If it was stolen, it was stolen. Get over yourself. You don't have time. Again, the thing that pisses you off about Democrats more than anything else. Oh, did we hurt your feelings? Oh, here, take all my money. Here's my house, my wife, and my kids. You can have anything you want. Screw you. You stole it. Deal with it.
Yeah.
You don't like it? Too bad.
Yeah.
Suck it up, Buttercup. That really should be the Democrats' new logo. Suck it up, Buttercup. Yeah. A little sarcasm for the alpha males out there, otherwise known as incels. Yeah. But I'll tell you how I really feel.
Yeah, exactly. You shouldn't hold it in. You'll get an ulcer if you do that.
I have a cheetah.
Oh, hell. Hey, baby.
I'm a cheetah. Hi.
All right. Well, I think we've thrown enough fire and brimstone at this one.
And we brought cats. Look at the audience tone.
No, I don't want to. Put me down.
Yes.
She's
playing with my crystals. Tap. Stop it.
You're there. It's your fault.
Yeah, I know.
You really appreciate it.
You didn't tell me there were toys up here. Anyways,
if you like these readings, give them a thumbs up. Leave a comment. I read all of the comments and I respond to many of them.
Yes, and if you like cats, well, you found the right channel because we have lots of cats. At least she doesn't disappear but she's under my name here. Let's see, can I edit my name here? Let me get rid of my name here so you can see her.
Yes.
Save it. Oh, I had to put a name there.
Why don't you just there she is.
There we go.
All right. So there'll be 3 people left to see the secret card.
And now they can't see it because I took you off.
I know. Okay. So thank you for watching, folks. We'll catch you soon. And for those of you that stuck around through all this nonsense to see the secret card, here it is.
They all dropped off 5 minutes ago. Yeah.
The nine of Wands. It's time for us we got to fight just a little bit more. We're there. We've been fighting. We got to fight just a little bit more to get to the finish line.
All right, everyone. Take care. We'll catch you on the next video. And as we wrap this up at 12:43 on
Sunday, the 17th of November. Remember, this was for entertainment purposes only.
Right. Okay. Take care. We'll catch you on the next video.
Bye, folks.